guys, welcome to episode 9 of season 2 here at Chelsea. Thank you for all of your feedback with regards to this current transfer window. Of course, with the season and save kind of tainted with the Champions League or European football bug, we'll be ending the save at the end of this season. So what we do now will only last for about 6 months or so. There were some people saying don't make any signings whatsoever. A number of people saying that, actually. There was also a number of people actually surprisingly saying that you weren't impressed with Jadon Sancho's performances. So there was quite a big call actually to sell him on. Now, because I only signed him this season, it won't let me sell him on. One of the alternative options that someone in the comment section came up with was try and switch wings with Pulisic and Sancho and see if we can get more out of them on the opposite wing to each other. So I'll give that a go. There was also a call from a number of people to sell Jorginho and to move Kovacic to the bench and sign another world-class player to go alongside N'Golo Kante. Now, I'd love someone like Paul Pogba, but he's just moved to Barcelona in this save. Also at Barcelona is Milinkovic-Savic, but he's just moved to Barcelona in this save as well. And someone that I've been really enjoying using on stream at Atletico Madrid is Saul. So I think I'm going to try and sign him for the central midfield role. And I may even try and use Jorginho in that going the other way. He does have a release clause of £94.6 million, which with the over 200 million that I've got, I'm quite happy to spend. So I think Saul might come in and be the last signing of this series. And hopefully he'll add yet more quality to the starting lineup, where we can continue to push for that Premier League title. And of course, subsequently, the 2 cup titles as well, with the second leg of the Carabao Cup semi-finals coming up against Watford in today's episode, which will be the played game. I'll say you'll have to work hard to get there to Mason Mount right now. Although, because we're at home here, I might actually play this rotated side in the league so I can play a stronger team against Ipswich to ensure that we go through there. I would play this rotated side against Ipswich as well, but I don't want to run the risk of going out the FA Cup. And whilst that side is clearly strong, battering Watford by 4-0, I don't want to run any sort of risk whatsoever against Ipswich. Quite happy to just accept the offer from Everton there for Kennedy. We'll send him there, and I'm expecting that the first team will be able to deal with Ipswich in this upcoming game. Zappacosta has gone, not to Valencia, but to Atletico Madrid. So they've already signed a player off me. I might be about to take someone off them. An offer here from Juventus for Andreas Christensen. Now, what I could do, because of course Koulibaly's currently injured for a while, because this is the last season, I could sell Christensen. We will be starting a new series at the end of this year. Now that we know what to do to avoid the European bug, it won't affect us in a future save. I could sell Christensen here and sign someone that is much higher rated with the funds that we'll have available to us. I'll ask for just 40. And to be fair, because of his age, they should pay that. Oh, I'm surprised. I am surprised. Genuinely thought they might have paid that with Christensen's potential and his age. Not to worry. If we get more offers in for Christensen, I would consider selling. We've had an offer now for Jorginho at 36 million. Quite happy to accept that, and Jorginho can go on his way. 29 years of age now. We shall simulate this one against Ipswich at home with the stronger team, and I would fully expect us to go through to the next round of the Champions League. No, can't play that this year. Of the FA Cup, and indeed we do. We got ourselves a hat-trick for Jadon Sancho on the other side of the midfield and 2 for Pulisic on the other side of midfield. Maybe you guys suggested the right thing by swapping them. An offer here for Emerson. Well, what I wanted to do was accept that, but it didn't register my down click. Okay, well, if Emerson agrees terms with Fiorentina, we'll look for a left back as well. Unexpected, but maybe another sale and other future signing will be happening as well. We'll train Tomori and Reece James here, and I'll go and try and sign. Well, I will sign Saul, and we'll bring him in before this next game against Watford in the Carabao Cup semi-final. We are 3-0 up from the first leg, so I fully expect us to be able to get through there regardless of what happens in this one. And well, it might play the 94.6. We're going to have upwards of £100 million to find someone else in a left back position. He's on 110 grand a week. I don't expect there to be much deviation from about what he's on with regards to what he might want. So we'll wait and see what we can agree with him here. I mean, he'll be crucial. Obviously, 88 rated will be our second highest midfielder coming in with that rating. He wants 4 years, that's fine. I am intrigued to see what sort of wages he'll ask for, considering Atleti are a big club, but obviously the Premier League is something completely different, and he would like an increase, which I'm happy to give him, but I'll remove that bonus. And we'll see if they'll agree maybe 155. No, we'll take 145. Fair enough. Saul is in. We have further improvement to our starting lineup. Kovacic go onto the bench. Jorginho hopefully will agree terms with the club that came in for him. And we can throw Saul into the starting lineup. That is very exciting. Now, if I sign a new left back, I might sign someone that's higher rated than Ben Chilwell, and we'll move him to the rotation spot and improve yet further in this first team. But clearly in that rotated game, Sancho on the left and Pulisic on the right got a lot out of both of them. We'll wait and see if that's the same in a played game in this second leg here against Watford. Kennedy sold, that's good news. That money will go straight into the kitty and go towards a potential left back if Emerson agrees terms with Fiorentina. A transfer offer for Azpilicueta. No, we said we'd keep him at the club. And a transfer offer for Rudiger as well. Certainly not. He's going to be starting alongside anyone in the centre-back positions. Obviously, Koulibaly, Stello injured for a few more weeks. But we can deal with that with the depth that we have at the club. Sarr would like to play against Watford. I'll consider it. I think he's on the bench. Jorginho gone. So he's now out of the club. We've adequately replaced him. And I might take Reece James out here and put Sarr on the bench. I've got 3 midfielders still that I could use on the bench there, but Tomori can always play at right back if needs be, or wing back if needs be, or Rudiger can, and I'd rather have an extra attacking option there as well. So we'll go with that, and we'll jump into this game now against Watford and hopefully get ourselves through to, well, I mean, we're 3-0 up for the first leg, so we should definitely do it. Get ourselves through to the final of the Carabao Cup for the second time in 2 seasons. Please drop the video a like if you enjoy the episode. Make sure you subscribed for probably not just the end of this episode, end of this season, but obviously what comes next as well. It will be going to a vote, as it always does on the channel. We'll be having a vote as to what series replaces this one. Obviously more prematurely than initially hoped for, but it is what it is. We shall deal with the situation. Right, Watford away. I won't even bother selecting their lineup. Hopefully they'll select a strong team, but regardless of what team they put out, we're still going through because we're 3-0 up from the first leg. So let's see, out of curiosity, what sort of side the AI put out against me here in a Carabao Cup, basically in a cup semi-final. Right, Watford's starting lineup. Pontus Dahlberg in goal. Ben Foster on the bench. Mernier, Rekic, Mariappa and Baba Rahman in the back 4. Etienne Capoue, Keena, Success and Pereira with Andre Gray and Stefano Akaka up top. It's not necessarily a weak team, but there are a couple of players in there that you would say are questionable, but it's to be expected with the AI, I guess. The curiosity has not paid off. Right, I just need to change my camera settings because I haven't swapped them from when I was last playing on stream. There we go. Default Teddy broadcast. We're back and raring ready to go. Andre Gray. Oh, driving into the box. Wasn't expecting him to be quite that direct there. Rudiger clears away. Now, away goals don't come into effect in the Carabao Cup until after extra time, I believe. Or at least that was the case previously. Don't know whether the rules have been changed with the addition of, or rather the removal of, no extra time in any round. You guys will actually have to let me know in the comment section what the rulings are with regards away goals now. Andre Gray pounced to me there. Very aggressive. He said, oh, strike! Wide of the target. Isaac Success failed to him kindly there as we tried to clear the header away. Technique was very, very good. And, oh, it's gone through Capoue's leg. If that actually registers hitting against Etienne Capoue, it might well go in. So the volley comes in here. It's great technique. It's low. And it does clip through Capoue's leg. Now, if that hits him square on the knee, that would probably have gone up from there, I would imagine, trajectory-wise. But that quite easily could have bounced off his leg and gone into the back of the net and given Watford early hope here. Unfortunately for them, it's gone straight through Etienne Capoe's leg. And they won't have any early hope. Let's have a look here as it zooms in, into the knee, and through the leg. Well, sorry, Watford, but the game hasn't necessarily helped you there. You could be back at 3-1. Oh, this controller's died now. Brilliant. Well, I was using the other controller to do that. I'll just change my battery packs over then. Unfortunately for Watford, they aren't going 1-0 up here. Keena. Kante steps in. Complicit get to that. He can't. Andre Gray drilled out wide to Pereira. Hakimi takes it away from him. I will move it forward. Pulisic in there to Kante. Knocked that back with Rodrigo to Saul. Stumbles over the challenge from Rekic, and they have the ball back again here, Watford. Kaka lets that run, and here's Isaac's success on the right-hand side for them. Could have given them the 1-0 lead, but Chilwell will give them a corner at the very least. 20 minutes in, it's been all Watford so far. Corner to come in here from Pereira. Oh, it's whipped deep and won by Christensen. Andre Gray will be the first man to that. Down here to Pereira again. Capoe, Pereira. And battling hard there, Ben Chilwell. Not the best of passes, though. Andre Gray picked off by Rudiger. Right, we'll work this forward. So, into Goretzka. I've got the run there of Rodrigo, and I'll play it over the top to hope that he can stretch his legs and get onto that. There was some call for Goretzka to be dropped deeper and for a cam to be signed, perhaps someone like Hakim Ziyech. But Goretzka is my second top goal scorer and has 19 goal contributions in 20 games in all competitions. So I think he's certainly doing well enough in that cam role. And Rodrigo is destroying everybody in his path in the striker role as well. I'm sorry, Tammy Abraham, but when that man is scoring 1, if not 2 goals almost every single game, he stays in the starting 11. To Pulisic, cut back to Saul and work this around. Saul's not really had much to do, actually, in this game so far. They have had a lot of forward play, Watford, but it's generally been beyond the midfield line. They've kind of bypassed the centre mids by going out wide. Rodrigo actually would have been better served by just continuing to drive forward on his right foot there. That was a terrible ball away. Not the best of headers from Pulisic either, but Rodrigo's jumped brilliantly there, and it will fall to Pulisic. We'll maybe get Saul involved here, and maybe get him an assist. Jadon Sancho can't get his feet sorted enough to be able to go for the skill move that I tried to do there. Unfortunately, Watford come forward again. I drew the defender out of position, and that might cost me here. No, Saul defensively covering nicely. My mistake by trying to turn there, and it will not cost me a goal because Kepa's bailed me out. So many defensive mistakes for me this year on FIFA 20, probably more so than 19 because of the new defensive engine and the way that they've lessened the effect of the AI defending. You don't realise how much you actually relied upon it until you don't have it, or at least you don't have it be as effective as it was. But that's going to be a goal kick here. Lucky to still be 1 up, and not be drawn back to being level on the night. But yeah, oh dear, that is a terrible header. But we're certainly still going to go through regardless of what Watford do in the second half. Oh, it's a lovely ball around the corner. It's Andre Gray. They might yet have an equaliser. Oh, Christensen blocks the first. Kepa saves the second, and a corner for Watford. Decent ground, Vicarage Road. I don't know what their average attendance is in the Premier League, but I went with Cambridge in the, well, this competition actually, the League Cup, although it was probably 2002-ish? And decent atmosphere at Vicarage Road, but that was, you know, almost 2 decades ago now. So if there are any Watford fans out there, you'll have to let me know what it's like atmosphere-wise down in northwest London. But as you can see there, Watford the better side, but we are in front.
This is their next
success,
which we'll bring to you on EA Sports.
And line there to Stefano Akaka, whipping the ball in. It's a good delivery actually. And Andre Gray wins the header too. I thought, to be fair, the defender would have had that actually. Was it Kante that was with him? It was. And actually, I think that might well have come off Kante's head onto Andre Gray, which is why the header was missed by such a margin. Nice movement from Pulisic there Terrible pass from N'Golo though. Or Pulisic could keep it in. He's done brilliantly to do so. Rodrigo is there in the middle, but I'm going to wait. Still going to drive ahead, pull it back. Oh, it might fall for me. Goretzka. I had to try and pull back. I didn't have the angle for the shot, but the defender dealt with it well. Still looking for a second, or on aggregate, a fifth, but not yet forthcoming. Oh, lovely ball. Picking up Isaac's success in behind. If he's onside here, it's a brilliant move. I mean, he is, but Hakimi's there to win that header. Kante will bring it down. So, working it out wide to Jadon Sancho is actually going to come off momentarily for Sarr. Seemingly, in played games, Sancho, to be fair, I was thinking the same as you guys in the comment section, that I hadn't really seen enough of Jadon Sancho considering his ability and the price we paid, but hopefully he'll continue to improve as we get further into the save, or at least become better at using him. We could try and slot him through here. To be fair, he did score against Arsenal in the last episode, and has now buried that against Watford with his literal last kick of the game. So maybe there's more to come from Jadon Sancho yet, but certainly there are improvements yet to be found, like his ability to keep hold of possession, like we saw there, and he had a moment like that similar in the first half as well. When it comes to finishing, he's certainly good enough. He'll come off now, Sarr will come on, and Goretzka's going off for Mason Mount as well, as he's going to get a run out in the Carabao Cup. Herrera. Right, and again, read it this time, and we're able to get the foot in. Pulisic will lay this across to Kante. See the option to play Sarr on the far side. We'll go back to Pulisic here and look to get away. I don't know how fast Keener is. He's certainly not keeping up with me here. We'll whip this, maybe looking for Sarr. No, it's Rodrigo in the middle. It reaches. And that was a tame header. I know they say head it down as the kind of trademark textbook thing to do, but you have to get it closer to the ground with more power if you're going to do that and head it down into the ground. Otherwise, it's just going to bounce straight back up into the keeper's arms as he stands there. A la that chance there. Never mind. 13 minutes to go. 2-0 and 5-0. And through to the final we'll go. Hopefully this time we won't be coming up against Liverpool. I'm not sure who's in the other half of the draw here in this competition. Oh, I think Sarr may have been just offside there as I played that. Hopefully it's not Liverpool, because we played them in 2 cup finals so far and lost them both. But we're 1-for-1 against Paris Saint-Germain with regards to Champions League finals. Or 1-for-1 against anyone that isn't Liverpool in a cup final so far in our competition history here at Chelsea. Danny Welbeck is coming on for them now, and Akaka will make way. Maybe Danny Welbeck will help score them 5 goals in 8 minutes. We'll wait and see. I doubt it, though. I don't know whether Danny Welbeck would even score 5 goals for them in his entire time at the club, let alone in the next 7 minutes. Pulisic went again, and I just delayed a little bit too long. We'll get that to Rodrigo, though, and then look to play the ball back to Mason. Oh, stands it up. Oh, good finish. Worked well. I was too close to shoot first time on my left foot, so I had to work it back and try and get it on his right. And to be fair, he's done really well there. Brilliant finish from Mason Mount. We have a third to just add yet more superiority to what's been a great fixture for us. Oh, actually, I thought he'd turned inside just regularly with his left foot, but he's dragged it back beautifully with his right there. Great technique from Mason Mount. Really nice dribbling skills from the youngster there. That's his 3rd goal of the Carabao Cup so far. Contributing well in this competition, Mason Mount. It'll probably be full-time, actually, momentarily as well. They've got that glitch in this team for them as well. It must be a formation thing, because there's only a handful of times you come up against that. Oh, that's terrible. Ref, please. I'll just volley that. I'm just spamming B. Please, ref. Come on. It's time. It's time. It's time. It's 3-0 and 6-0. Ref, thank you. Sorry, Watford. You ain't good enough. Who will we have in the final, though? That's the question. I'm not sure. Let's jump back to the transfer window now and see if we'll be able to do something else in the transfer window if Emerson's actually left us. Emerson has actually left us. So, to be fair, he wasn't playing that well. Maybe it's a blessing in disguise to have accidentally accepted that bid. I'm now going to go and try and find a left-back to start in the 11. Let's see, who could we potentially have? Alaba's probably too old. Oh no, he's only 28. I thought David Alaba was older than that. Maybe David Alaba would be a good go-to for someone that doesn't really get signed that much in career mode. I've used Marcelo before at Chelsea in a separate save, so I'll probably not go for him. I'm not sure how old he is actually in this save. No, he's 32, so certainly he's not going to be an option. Alex Telles I used last year recently as well, so we'll lean away from him. Alexandro is another go-to, but I've used him recently, to be fair. Or I think I've used him recently. I can't recall off the top of my head. Maybe we'll go for David Alaba. Why not? He's not the go-to. Like people tend to lean towards Alexandro or Alex Telles as young or younger wingbacks, although Alexandro is actually 30 now. I didn't realise David Alaba was as young as he is. Yeah, sure, we'll pay his release clause. We might as well flaunt the money that we've got. What's he on a week? £135,000. That should be pretty easily dealt with. David Alaba will be certainly an improvement to the first team as well. Let's see what we can do here then. Squad role, crucial. That's fine. We've got £118 million available, so we're certainly not going to need to worry about money at all. 4 years is fine. I mean, it's just a quick one to scroll across to, isn't it? No, release clause, wage-wise. Give me an idea at least. Okay, fine. He's on 135. We'll offer him 140 and a £600,000 signing on fee, and they will accept it. David Alaba is in. We have another new signing. Welcome to the club, Mr. Alaba. Right then, Ben Chilwell out there and Alaba in. I might put Chilwell on the bench actually, because I can always move Sell maybe back to centre back if I need someone. It'd be nice to have a wing back on the bench. I mean, I've got so many people that I want to be involved that I run out of space on the bench. To be fair, I'd lean towards Loftus-Cheek or Mason Mount off the bench, so I'll take Kovacic out there and we'll put Tomori back in. I'd lean towards my younger English players rather than Kovacic. With the quality we've got in the starting lineup, having a younger player there isn't going to make too much of a negative impact if the player that comes on isn't of world-class quality. And to be fair, clearly by the last game, Mason Mount is good enough to make an impact in that forward role at least. We'll see if Ruben Loftus-Cheek perhaps can do something off the bench here against Crystal Palace. But I'm going to go and make sure they put out their strongest starting lineup, and we'll play the second game of the episode. Scuffert in goal for Crystal Palace. Seamus Coleman, Lemmer, Riedewald and Zinchenko, the back four. More usual looking Crystal Palace midfield of Townsend, Milivojevic and Meyer, although they've got Alvaro Vidillo on the wing, and then Zaha and Pettersson up top. Can recall on Christian Benteke for a bit of a physical introduction off the bench, but hopefully we'll be able to deal with that should we see Benteke join the fray, and my starting lineup is the same as it was in the previous game, so hopefully we can get a similar result. He's done me there by not actually moving Maximilian Meyer. David Alaba will try and get him a clean sheet on debut the same way we were able to get Saul one as well. See Saul being used in a defensive midfield role, so pleased to get him that clean sheet on debut. Sancho worked this out here to Alaba. This is the first time we've used him. Lovely pink boots for the Austrian. Get that to Jadon Sancho around the corner there, who will turn, look for Rodrigo, find Goretzka, who gives us the 1-0 lead regardless. I don't suppose it matters who puts the ball in the back of the net, as long as it goes into the back of the net. And it has. Chelsea 1, Palace 0. Lovely ball over the top. Townsend down, but dealt with by the defence. That was not as accurate as it needed to be from Andros. Goretzka was here to Saul, and Pulisic's making that run in behind, and Zinchenko can't deal with the pace of the man. We'll turn here again. We'll look to the middle. Oh, Riedewald picks that off nicely. Jadon Sancho was waiting in the middle to tuck that home. Lunged a bit with Saul there and was never really going to get to that, was I? Oh, that's a nice ball over the top. If he's onside here, Andros Townsend, this could be a really good opportunity for Crystal Palace. And he is onside, and it could be a really good opportunity. Alaba gets one block in. Can't get there to the second. Christensen clears. Recovered by Meyer, though. I believe he's left-footed. Could have shot there. Alvaro Vidillo using his pace to go around the outside. He's turned past Saul, and Alaba being relied upon at the back post again. Goretzka does well to get down to that, and we'll get the counter-attack underway. Pulisic looking to have that impact. We'll look for Goretzka in the middle, and arriving around the outside is Jadon Sancho. Forced him a little bit too far wide, perhaps. No! Through the keeper and into the back of the net. Jadon Sancho is having the impact on that left with regards to his goal scoring. Through the keeper, is it? It's just so close to him. I'm not sure about the animation. Perhaps he expected it to go a bit higher, or maybe driven high or driven low, and it kind of came about waist height, and he's not really been able to adjust quickly enough to deal with it. His 5th goal of the Premier League season, Sancho. His 5th goal of the episode so far, including the hat-trick in the simulated game. And we have ourselves a 2-0 lead at Selhurst Park. Things are going very much according to plan so far today. Apart from that. Zinchenko through there to Maya, and Zaha didn't have to break stride there and buries it beautifully. Palace immediately back in the game. That was really nicely done. You can see him running, Zaha, and he just doesn't stop. He trusts that his teammate will play it to him. Maya trusts that he'll get there and do the job, and he certainly has. Nods it down in front of him and then smacks it home. Wilfred Zaha has brought Crystal Palace right back into the game. 2-1. Hakimi into Pulisic. Rodriguez's got a bit of space to work and allow people to run off him, which is exactly what's happened. Well, I'm sorry, Crystal Palace. Fight back as hard as you might. I'm just going to go and score again. Good movement by Rodrigo to drag the number 3 there out of position. Thumping finish from Leon Goretzka. His 12th, 13th goal of the Premier League season so far. We're only in January, of course. They're great numbers for a central midfielder. He's got 7 or 8 assists to go with that as well. Absolutely flying, Leon Goretzka. One of the most influential signings we've made. He and Rodrigo have completely altered the look of our offensive game. Mason Mount and Tammy Abraham were great for us season 1, but certainly Rodrigo and Goretzka have taken us on to the next level. And hopefully Saul and Alaba will help us take ourselves up to the toppest? Wow. Up to the highest level. I don't know why my brain chose to say the word, or make up the word toppest there. I apologise. Half an hour to go. Hopefully the scoreline stays the same and my commentary skills improve. Corner to come in from Andros Townsend. They've taken Vadillo off here and brought on Alejo. Kepa's got to that but not punched it clear well. Sancho certainly completes the clearance. I thought I might have dropped kindly for them. There's the box there. Here's Alejo. It's just come on. Zinchenko stood up well, and Alaba underneath that, I think. No, it was Milivojevic. Over the bar, though. Palace fighting hard in this second half. They've got themselves 1 back. They just unfortunately then switched off at the back, as far as they're concerned. But there's no reason why they can't get themselves a 2nd back and try and go for that point once again. Wilfred Zaha picked off by Pulisic. Nicely done. Needed that there, because Zaha could quite easily have played a 1-2. Oh, challenge and a half from Milivojevic. Zaha could quite easily have played a 1-2 and been set through again. And just Townsend just shepherding him out wide, although allowed him to turn there. Seamus Coleman into the middle and Christensen away. Up we go with N'Golo. Thankfully it was someone small that he was up against there. Goretzka played in. Good acceleration, Goretzka, like 85, I think, 85, 86. That's a lovely ball by Rodrigo. And we'll find Pulisic. We'll lay that back. Rodrigo out of his feet. Bend it. Game over. Sorry, Palace. Sorry. You're done. Neymar over the top. Mario brings that down and looks for the ball forward to Milivojevic. Who's just come on for Nils Pettersson. They elected for the smaller option, striking-wise. Thought they might have turned to Christian Benteke. Rodrigo, actually, Goretzka's made a great run. And Pulisic is free on this far side. That's not fallen nicely for him. Kante, though, blocked. Saul, maybe he'll get in on the act. Oh! Wow! If only he tried his absolute best there, Saul, and he's just a whisker away from making it 5. What a hit from outside the box. If he can do that more often, we might score a few bangers with him. Just a few seconds left to go in the game. Palace very soon to be put out of their misery. Oh, 3 minutes added on for the number of goals that have gone in this second half. Although, to be fair, there weren't a massive amount. We didn't really celebrate too hard. We just kind of skipped the replays and went back to the... Oh, wow! Back to the halfway line. Townsend nearly scoring a brilliant goal of his own. But off the post, hitting the keeper and going safe. And 3 points for the Chelsea faithful to go back home from Selhurst Park with. Not that far from Crystal Palace to southwest London. We'll take that. Thank you very much indeed. We won't do the post-match interview. Let's go and end the transfer window. Spurs beat Liverpool by 2-0 in the other earlier kickoff this match weekend. Bournemouth have Aston Villa away. I'm not sure who else is up and about us now. It's Everton, wasn't it, towards the top of the table. We've had a transfer of Callum Hudson-Odoi from Manchester United of £35 million. Interesting. No, but good to see that Hudson-Odoi is turning heads at the top end of the table. Biggest transfer dealing so far, ourselves for Saul and Alaba, and then Bergwijn has gone to Arsenal for 53.3. And just a couple of... Oh, Corazon Tolisso to Atletico Madrid. There's their Saul replacement then. They spent that money well, Atleti. Tolisso is a very capable player. Not quite at Saul's level yet, but certainly if you could say you'd sign someone like Tolisso with a potentially has and have £40 million extra in the bank, it's probably good business. Probably. Saul is still very, very good though, and hopefully he'll prove that over the course of the half a season that remains. We're through to the Carabao Cup final. I do need to check actually who we have in the final and when that final falls. Transfer offer of 18.5 million for Reece James, which we will reject. We'll finish this transfer window first. So a lot of business done by us here in this window. 154 million spent, 98 million raised. No massive deals gone through yet though, really. With only half of transfer deadline day left to go, Mandzukic has gone to Bologna. A loan offer for Tomori from Atletico Madrid. Sorry, lads. You're not having Tomori on loan. That's not happening. We're going to see any other large deals? It's a very quiet deadline day to this point. Still only £233 million spent. Now, Hertha Berlin come in and tried to buy Tomori. That's a no. And still, teams try and pry Dave away, but that's not happening either. 4 hours to go in transfer deadline day. There's not that many deals going through at all. I thought there'd be more. Genuinely thought there'd be more done. I don't know whether the lack of European football has affected that at all, with teams not thinking they need to strengthen too much for competitiveness in the European competitions in the latter rounds. But okay, let's have a quick look through and see who's done what. So starting with Bournemouth, a little bit. Alaza out, Cook and King. Sorry, Alaza in, Cook and King out. Bergwijn in Arsenal with Kolasinac going out. Villa have done nothing. Burnley have just done loan or pre-contract signings. Similarly, Cardiff, we spent 154 million and made 98. Palace, Lemmer, Fernandes and Svensson. Lemmer played against us. Maya is going out, but he did just play us. Everton have signed Kennedy, signed from us, of course. Fulham, again, loan or pre-contract business. Similarly, Leeds. Leicester have sold Evans and Pereira, with Fernandes coming in. Mitchell Weiser in Liverpool and Caldara, while Matip and Joe Gomez go out. Pereira in at Manchester City, so not sure which Pereira is. Well, I guess actually it must be the Leicester Pereira. So he's in at City. Manchester United, Fabra in and Pereira out. Imagine that's not the Pereira that's gone to City though. Fernandes out at Newcastle. Southampton have signed Borja Mayoral, Adnan and Kolasinac, and Kolasinac sees that 15.5 million as well, because we saw that with Arsenal's sales. Balde, Keita and Carvalho in at Tottenham, with Aurier and Eriksson leaving. Nothing done at Watford. West Ham have signed Mere, Demisi and Otavio. Wolves, Maya, Karavayev and Yere. And that is transfer deadline day. A quick look at some of the large deals in the window, but there just weren't that many, really. Transfer deadline day has ended and only 300 million spent. It's really not that much at all. We'll have a look. Obviously, oh, that's they were the ones in the summer transfer window. So Pogba and Milinkovic-Savic were two of the players I might have considered for centre mid, obviously, earlier on in this save, but we signed Saul instead. So top three deals were all for centre mids. We were involved in the fourth. And then another one was a centre mid, Artur, going to Manchester United. So whether Artur went one way and Pogba went the other, they perhaps could have done a player swap plus 15-20 million pounds, but they decided to do it with two different deals. It would be nice to see the AI use the player swap function, but they don't at present. Any other January ones? Alaba, that was me. Corentin Tolisso and Bergwijn. Joe Gomez went to Valencia for 42.8 on transfer deadline day. Mario Götze went to Leipzig. Any other January ones in there? Caldara was 36.3 to Liverpool. Jorginho obviously was us. Rugani went to Bayern this window. Balde Keita was 34.6. William Carvalho to 34.2 for Tottenham. Yere to Wolves 33.7. Levakovic has gone to Leverkusen for 32.7. Leon Jose to AC Milan. Sorry, Otavio to West Ham. What's he rated at? Can't see. Konate, centre back to Piemonte Calcio, Juventus. Surprised to see Watford sell Doucouré, to be fair. Doucouré is a very good player. That went through in the summer. Mere to West Ham. They've strengthened at goalkeeper. Fabianski, first team football might be coming to a close at West Ham then. Ricardo Pereira, 83 rated, gone to Manchester City. Obviously, we signed Anana. Sousa went to Dortmund. That was this window, and that's the list. So, not that many do. To be fair, a lot of money was spent. A lot of money was spent in the summer. Now, who do we have in the Carabao Cup final? Let me show you something. Let me show you something. Because I did already know. Fulham 2, Liverpool 2. Aggregate. Liverpool 1 on away goals. Fulham are in the final. How? Don't understand that one. Perhaps you can shed some light for me. Alright, I shall see you next time.